my name is Margarete Mucker. I worked at Star One Credit Union for the past 32 years. It was back when mobile banking was really becoming prominent in the industry. And we, at that point, were actually looking for a mobile banking vendor. And one of our account managers at Fiserv, who operates our core, she told me, she said, hey, there's a company named Tyfone. They integrated to XP2, check them out. And sure enough, I checked them out, and that's where it's all started. We worked with Tyfone for over the last 10 to 12 years. And like I said, initially it was just a mobile banking channel. But they were so easy to work with. They were very accommodating, very collaborative. And Tyfone was this small company, nimble, very flexible, very cooperative. And I think that just was a great foundation that we built on, and a lot of trust on both sides, right? Respect for each other. If you want somebody that actually will work with you, that you want, that listens to you and what you need for your business, and not be dictated by the larger that tell you what you need, it's a little bit, the other way around. We tell Tyfone what we need, and they will listen, and they try to build it, right? And they try to also build it not just for us, but for the ecosystem. Tyfone is exceptional at providing service to their clients. They're very responsive, and they understand anything that impacts the member, they're right on it. They will not wait around because they know that it's our bread and butter. We cannot have a member being negatively impacted. It's kind of very interesting. I retired in March, and when I announced that I was going to retire, Josh from Tyfone told me, oh, by the way, we'll have our first conference in September. And I said, it doesn't matter, no matter what, I'm going to be there, because, that was one of my wishes, to have a conference to get all of us together and really build that, we call it Tyfone family. It is, and build it, and there's nothing better than in-person interactions. And that it finally happened after I pestered Josh for quite some time. So it's wonderful to be here. I think it's building that communication, the trust in credit unions and banks, and even the community banks. We share a lot of information. We learn what others are doing, how they're utilizing the system, and it's great. Everybody has a different way of doing and managing their members and the systems. And you walk away with a lot of good ideas. One of the questions I sometimes get asked is, how do you pick a vendor, right? A vendor that has hardly any clients, right? That has no financials to speak of or success stories, and how do you sell that to your credit union or to your board? You have to believe in the product that they're going to deliver, and you hope that they deliver, right? But also there is a lot of trust in the person that you're working with. I think they delivered a solid product, fantastic service at a reasonable price. Pricing is important for a lot of FIs. And I think, and innovation. Plenty of customers, they're constantly innovating, adding new products and services, talking to us in an environment like that, what it is that you want, what would you like to see. And they themselves also are out in the industry looking for products and services, financial services that are coming up and that may benefit us. They're very committed to delivering to their clients, to us, the best tools and services that we can, we talk about that sometimes, compete with the big banks. We don't have those big marketing dollars, but we have a solid system, and maybe sometimes better than what the big banks have. It's been a wonderful, I had a wonderful career, and thanks to Tyfone, I had really the last lot of innovation for our credit union. And I'm happy to leave on a high note.